Good evening, patriotic Americans and patriots and people who are watching this. People are talking about their liberties. People are talking about their freedom and what the government's doing to shut you down. Well, it's funny when you start talking about First Amendment auditors, um, or going out and recording the police departments and recording police doing their activities and um, taking pictures of buildings and photography of buildings and everything. And then when you get harassed by the police for doing just that, excuse me, for doing just that, you're recording the police, you're recording the buildings, you're taking video of the buildings, of federal buildings and everything, but you're in public property. As long as you're not trespassing, you're in public property. You are told a lot of times that if you're a First Amendment auditor or somebody that likes to record the police as cop blockers or whatever name you want to put to it, that you're out there to harass the police. What does the police do to you sometimes? They harass you. Pull you over for no reason at all, no real probable cause. They just pull you over because you're driving around at 2 o'clock in the morning and they think in their mind, to deem it suspicious, you're driving around at 2 o'clock in the morning or driving around during the afternoon and you just so happen to drive past or out of a house they deem suspicious. They don't know exactly what you're doing in that house or going past that house or in that neighborhood. It doesn't matter. To me, what I'm doing is no business of theirs. So, when they asked me, said, "Where are you going? Where are you heading?" Does it matter? Does it really matter where I'm going? Does it really matter what I'm doing today? No. So I'm not going to answer that question. And then they start getting frustrated and getting fed up and, getting all crazy and, well, I think I'll just search his car. No, you have a warrant or probable cause. And then I start into the spiel. Warrant, probable cause, hey, I don't answer questions and until you can, tell me what crime I committed, articulate what crime I committed, this is pretty much shut down. We're just going to sit here. I'll sit here all day long, and I'll tell them that too. I'll sit here all day long. You really want to waste your time? Come up with a crime, because I do on my car. I used to be an old truck driver, so I learned a little trick that everybody should do with their cars just to keep from getting pulled over. Do a pre-trip inspection. Turn on your headlights. Turn on your turn signals. Look at your license plate light. They love to pull you over for the license plate. I can't read it at 50 feet or 100 feet, whatever. They love to pull people over for that one. Especially if you're somebody that has been known for going and taking pictures of buildings, federal buildings, whatever. They love to harass you. And security guards. I sit back and laugh and crack up at security guards. I carry a Bowie knife, a big Bowie knife. It's actually in the car, and my wife's got the car right now. But I carry a Bowie knife. I'll carry it into malls and everywhere else. I don't care. Hell, if I had a gun and it was concealed, I would carry it there too, because my Second Amendment right says I have a constitutional right to carry. Now, granted, I'm not going to carry it into a bar when I'm drinking, because I'm responsible like that. I will carry it into gas stations and stuff. But, sorry, I got a phone call. But, my constitutional right to carry is a constitutional right to self-defense. So any place that I deem that could be a target for robbery or whatever, I'm going to carry it because I have that constitutional right to carry. So, sorry, I had to put the phone down. But it's kind of funny that these people talk about their liberties and all that, but then when you start to actually flex your constitutional rights, and you start to record the police, and you start to record the police stations, the government buildings, the federal buildings, and you start to do all this government agency, government of today, they want to shut you down. They want you to shut that camera off because you may catch something that you're not supposed to. I'm sorry, according to the Supreme Court, last time I looked and read, it says if I'm standing in a public place or public accessible place, a lobby, whatever, anything I can see with my eyes can be recorded. So, I see the argument all the time that people, I talk about First Amendment auditors because I support them. They're going out and doing something I can't do because I don't have the equipment, don't have whatever. Now, I don't have the money and the time, for one thing. Actually, I got the time, I just don't have the money. But it's funny because the government will shut you down. They'll shut you down just as quick as anything, and they'll start harassing you. And you'll have cops and police that'll try and intimidate you and try to tell you that, the sheriff department grounds are private property, which it's not. It's actually government property, which is paid for by the taxes of the people. So it's public accessible. Because if it wasn't public accessible, how would people go report crimes to the police if it wasn't public accessible? So that means if it's private property and we're not allowed to be there, then how are we supposed to get from here to the office, to the window with the police officer to report a crime? So that means it's public accessible, right? Yes, it is. I've had people that tell me that auditors are just out to cause trouble and da-da-da-da. I guess in a way it's pushing back. I see it as pushing back against the government that is taking your rights. I see it as, carrying your gun. Open carrying your gun. Open carrying a Bowie knife that is this long. That's pushing it back against the government that is trying to tell you that you cannot do this. I've had people tell me that gun registration would be a good thing. To me, gun registration is this idea. Simple idea. You take the Second Amendment, you take it away from the people, then you sell it back to them. Sell them that right. To me, the license of the concealed carry is doing just that. They took it away from you, and now they're going to sell it back to you. They're going to sell that right back to you. Only the people that can afford to do it, go through the classes, go through all this, now can carry a gun. Oh, and I agree there are some people I do not want to own guns. Some people don't need guns. Like some felons and some whatever. There are some people that get felonies because police officers falsely charge them and then they lose their rights. I've had friends that got falsely accused and it took them years to get their rights back to carry a gun, to own a gun. I think it's wrong. So you're thinking about it. They go through, they falsely accuse you of anything that they could charge as a felony, I don't care what it is, or they plant drugs. This is why I record the police. Recording the police when I talk to them. You are being recorded. I make sure their body cam is on. Because I'm going to FOIA that cam. And if it comes up missing, or not recording, or not working, or whatever, that you don't have footage of that body cam, I'm going to sue you right there because there's something fishy about that. Anyways, they falsely accuse you. They make it so you lose your right. What happens when you go sign with a bail bondsman? Think about that. When you go sign with a bail bondsman, have you ever actually read the lawyer legal mumbo jumbo on the bottom? When you sign with a bail bondsman, I've had bail bondsmen tell me this, you actually sign away all rights. All constitutional rights. Think about that. So now you are property of that bail bondsman. You, personally, this is slavery. Slavery, people complain about slavery. You are property of that bail bondsman. So you stop and think about it. Okay, wait a second. I just signed bail to this guy that's sitting behind a desk that's got lots of money, and he's throwing money at it. And now I owe him money, and I am his property. That is slavery. That's what it is. I don't do slavery. I'd rather sit in jail than be owned by anybody. Owned by any man. I personally will flex my rights, record the police, take pictures and record government buildings, police officers, if I see them, I'll record them. And people start asking questions. Wait a second, what are you doing? You shouldn't be recording that cop. Why shouldn't I? So if something happens, why can't I catch it on film? On video? On, whatever. These people that actually start questioning you, that believe in that blue line so thick and heavy, you know what that blue line does? You know what? I don't care what color the line is you put in the American flag. When you have an American flag and you put the red line, the blue line, whatever. This is just my opinion. Some people may say I'm looking at it wrong. I support police officers. Yes, I do. But that separates them from us. That makes them think that they are better than us. They are not better than us. They can be held to the letter of the law just the same as us. And sometimes they need to be held to the letter of the law the same as us. Because I hear so many reports of cops pulling people over for no darn reason, just to search your car, just to search your background. I need your information so I can run you. For what? What says that I'm a felon? Is there felon written on my forehead? Come on, man. I mean, it's like, come on, man. It makes me stop to think, why are they pushing so hard to get guns off the street, to charge you with a felony that you can't own a gun? Why are they pushing so hard to search your car and hope you got drugs in there? I don't care if it's just a quarter ounce of marijuana. Why is marijuana a Schedule 1 drug? I have a lot of questions about this. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug. Why? A Schedule 1 drug should be heroin. It should be crack cocaine. It should be spice. It should be, all these others that make you go flipping nuts. I call them zombie drugs. if a drug makes you a zombie, that should be a Schedule 1 drug. Marijuana doesn't make you a zombie. It chills you out. And also, marijuana actually helps some people with their pain. So, we have been fed so many lies in the past about marijuana. Marijuana is a terrible thing. Hash is a terrible thing. You know, any form of marijuana or hash or hemp or whatever is a terrible thing. It's a horrible thing. No, it's not, because hemp can be used to make stuff. Believe me, I'd rather grow hemp to make to make all kinds of stuff. I mean, heck, I seen a video here a while back that hemp actually is stronger than carbon fiber when you put it together right. Go figure that one. It's almost like steel. Or it makes damn good ropes. Hemp makes really damn good ropes. You can use hemp to make all kinds of stuff, from clothing. But anyways, it's funny because the government wants to shut down something that they can't tax. That's what it boils down to, is the fact that they can't control it. They can't tax it. If people were growing it on their property and selling it, and it's just their own personal goods, they really can't tax it that much. It boils down to money with government. Why do we have a $1 trillion deficit? Because the government has overspent. They have given money away to countries that really hate us, and they have no reason to give money to them. We've given weapons, money, and all this crap to them, and yet they're coming over and telling us that we got to change or die. You got people like Nancy Pelosi and all these others that are sitting in there and saying that we are not on the same playing field, and when is the American people going to realize that they don't deserve to be in the same level as us? Think about this. They think that they sit on a hill far, far away and they can't be touched. I'm sorry, we the people have voted you in. As for that stupid girl, I can't remember her name, but everybody makes fun of her on memes and all that, or memes or whatever you call it, all the time. She's a flippin' idiot. She's saying that Islam and all that stuff is let them in, and I mean, I sit back and listen to these people sitting, and then they tell it, oh yes, we got to give up our guns. But yeah, you got people coming in from South America, from Islam, Muslims, whatever, saying that we got to convert or die. And you got Facebook, you got YouTube, everything else that if you start talking the way I'm talking now, they're going to shut you down. Well, because they don't want the truth to get out. It's like CNN. They want to lie. They want to twist the truth. And they want you to sit back and be sheep and go, okay, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. And you're just going to go along and go into captivity and be slaughtered like lamb by the thousands or millions or whatever, and they don't care. They don't care if you live or die. They really don't. Why is it that they're going after Trump so bad? You know, trying to shut down Trump. It's because Trump is actually shutting down this agenda that they've been pushing for years. You think this agenda is meant for today? No, it's not meant for today. It's more meant for a time, a place when it can be put into access. So all this stuff about shutting down your rights, one by one, shutting down your right to film, to take pictures, shutting down your Second Amendment right, shutting down your religious rights, They shut down all rights. They don't want you to question them at all. So if they can shut them down one by one and go all the way through your rights, guess what? They've got you. You are a slave. That's the reason they want you to shut up. Just take a number and fall in line. Because if you don't fall in line, guess what? They don't care. Look at all these cities that are falling into liberal hell. Seattle, Sacramento, all these ones out there. You got people pooping and peeing on the streets. You got Antifa running stupid. You got BAM running stupid. You got Black Lives Matter running stupid. You got KKK actually stupid. You got Nazis. You got, who are they? The ones they are the Democrats. Democrats started the KKK. Hey, Nazis back in World War II were Democratic organization. They were a liberal democratic organization. Well, Antifa, BAM, and all of them are Black Lives Matter are liberal democratic organization. Why is it that every time you see liberal democratic organizations, socialist communist organization, they've got to have a hood over their face, a mask, or they got to have some kind of a uniform that is standard for everybody. They want everybody to be the same so they can know who's not falling in line. They want you to do the hand salute, because if you're not doing the hand salute, you're not falling in line. Mine is this. I don't belong to any organization right now because I actually quit the last one that I belonged to. But I support that last one I belonged to. I support all organizations that believe in the 3% and the constitutional rights and the freedom of all Americans. I respect your freedom of speech, but the time your freedom of speech starts to get on cross my freedom is when you start telling me that my freedom doesn't exist. My constitutional right doesn't exist. So when your freedom of speech is actually going against my constitutional rights as an American, that's where you cross the line. So think about this. You got Antifa, you got BAM, you got all these others that are running around and saying that we got to accept socialism or die. That's the same speech as Islam, as Muslims is pushing. Okay, no problem. And then you got them walking around in Seattle, Washington, with AR-15s, AK-47s, and everything else. But when the patriotic Americans start to walk around with AK-47s, AR-15s, or even whatever gun you want to carry, I don't care what gun you carry the same guns that they're carrying, we get harassed. Why are we getting harassed and they getting let go? Because the government, the democratic government that are in those situations in these cities are supporting them. They actually support them. So now, the question is, are you going to stand for constitutional rights and freedom? I don't care if it's recording what's going on with your camera. Go pick up a digital camera and start recording. Record the police, record the government, record everything. Start getting the news out there. The truthful news. Don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to MSNBC. Let's start a new year out where we actually take the news to the news media. We actually start telling the news media, we don't need you. Because we can share what's actually going on through the internet. We can record and share. Let's actually start a new year with saying, hey, we, the American people, are not going to put up with this. We, the American people, are going to support Donald Trump in building the wall. and doing whatever we got to do. And as for Canada, I know there's a lot of 3%ers up in Canada that are actually trying to take care of their country. I support them for taking care of their country. Those people need to say, we, the people of Canada, don't want your crap. And I support them if they do. I personally, I've heard people talking about doing the yellow jacket or whatever, throwing on a jacket that's brightly colored and running around, taking on government, or showing government that, hey, this is our symbol. I don't know about you, I don't want to be a moving target. Think about that. You put on a jacket, you're going to be the first person they see. And if I'm telling you, if they have a sniper on the roof, windows, wherever, who's the person they're going to take out? It's going to be that person wearing that yellow jacket. I don't want to be. They're going to take people in camos or plain clothes, collared clothes, you know, like this, and camo pants maybe, or something, or have the militia patch, or the 3% patch, or the American patch, or whatever. They're going to target them too, but the first ones they're going to target are the ones that stand out. I mean, just boom, just so brightly you can't miss it. To me, I support French people if they're standing against their government. But I don't support being a target for your government to shoot. See, unfortunately, over there, they have rolled over, played dead, and allowed the government to say, give up your knives. I mean, they already took the guns, so they're saying, give up the knives. Or they're now allowing their government to say, you can't use your gun in self-defense, because if you do, that's murder, da-da-da. No, in self-defense, it's self-defense. There's a difference between murder and self-defense. I'm sorry, if I ever shoot somebody, I'm going to unload the gun and sit and wait. Well, I'll wait till the cops show up, and then I'll unload the gun. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to stand there and, hey, you want to take me to jail? Go for it. I shot the dude in self-defense. Because I will never shoot nobody unless it is war and it's total self-defense. Sorry, if you're an aggressor, I'm going to take care of that aggression for you. You ain't going to like it. I am not going to be a target wearing no vest. I've got vests. I've got the orange vest. I've got the brightly colored vest. I've got different ones. Those are for when I'm working on my car on the side of the road. I throw them on, you know, hey, I want to be seen then. But in a protest and a rally, I don't want to be seen that way. I think strategically, tactically, I don't want to be that first person they see. I don't want to take a chance of getting shot by anybody. Antifa, anybody. I don't care if the government, whoever. I don't care. I'll stand up. I'll carry the American flag. I'll carry my Don't Tread on Me flag. I'll carry both of them. But I'm not putting on no vest that's going to say, hey, shoot me. Because that vest, to me, is a target. Now, listen to this. This is the final thing, and I'm going to say, I hope you guys have a happy New Year's, and you start off the new year with a bang. And all the God's blessings and everything else. The last final thing I'm going to say, build the wall. We don't need those people there. My idea of a wall is 50 foot tall, 50 foot wide, 50 foot deep. With barbed wire, razor wire going all the way up to one side. And also, big enough that our border patrol can drive up and down that wall on ATVs, whatever. And they can keep monitors with cameras and everything else. And heck, if they have to, have gun towers. I'm sorry, but if you're going to shoot at us, we're going to shoot back. Too many times, Too many times, our soldiers, our border patrol, and everybody on the borders are told we cannot shoot into Mexico because that would be an act of war. You know what? If they're shooting into America, that's not an act of war. No, that ain't happening. That shouldn't happen. They shoot into America, we shoot back. We obliterate that shoreline. Anybody standing there, I'm sorry. You throwing rocks? You throwing projectiles? I don't care if it's rocks or whatever you're throwing. I say use lethal force. You start cleaning up that barrier between Mexico and it's called the Rio Grande. You let Mexico clean up that mess. It's time for Mexico to start stepping up. It's time for us to start protecting our borders. It's time for us to say, no more. No more free rides, coming over here and getting free rides. Heck, when you come over here, you get, what, $5,000 and all these benefits and everything. And you're getting more than what I ever dreamed of. Man, I worked my whole life to get the disability that I got, and I'm not getting much. You're getting all kinds of Medicare and all this other stuff. No. Why are they dreamers when we're American people? It ain't happening. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing all this stuff. So, God bless. I hope y'all have a good and happy New Year's and Merry Christmas. I hope everything goes great for y'all. We're going to start this next year. Hopefully doing other videos than these. I just, we never know what's going to happen this next year. Hopefully this next year for us, for my family, for everybody else, and for your family, changes. And it gets better. My prayers is for the American people, that their lives get better. And they can support their family right. They can protect their family and defend their family. They can support their constitutional right. So God bless. Guns up. Keep up the good work. Stand for constitutional right. Defend constitutional right. Have a good day. God bless.